In this morning's Business Insight, providing people with transportation choices is such a key issue in our community that the Cincinnati USA Regional Chamber recently announced the start of an initiative around that issue. On Saturday, Metro, our area's nonprofit tax-funded fixed bus route service, will begin a series of meetings across Hamilton County to present information and get feedback on a plan to reinvent Metro. The Reinventing Metro conceptual plan includes 24-hour service on major routes, shorter trip times, increased frequency, more cross-town routes, and enhanced technologies to make using public transportation easier. Joining us to talk about the Reinventing Metro plan is Dwight Farrell, Metro's Chief Executive Officer and General Manager. He's with Business Courier editor Rob Dawmeyer in the studio. Dwight and Rob.
Thanks, Peg. Dwight, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So this is a pretty sweeping deal. Sorry about the language. It's a deal.
It's all right.
It's a deal.
Yes, it is.
It is a deal. What, in a perfect world, what is this going to look like, or how are you going to be able to function differently than you're functioning now?
Well, one, we'll be financially sustainable, so our ability to replace our bus fleet and that sort of thing. But we'll be able to provide more frequent service, earlier service, later service. We'll be able to provide service that gives people choices that they don't have today, and make public transportation a viable option. They can give up their car or whatever the case may be.
Do you look at transportation, or do you look at the role of transportation differently now than maybe you did 5-10 years ago? When I'm talking to Jill Meyer, who runs the chamber, as Peg mentioned, this is obviously, I think it's the #1 issue for them. If it's not, it's up there. Mm-hmm. I feel like transportation is being looked at a bit differently now, as more of a economic factor than just getting people from A to B. Do you feel the same way?
There's absolutely. A region that's not competitive with its public transportation system is difficult for them to attract talent and retain talent. And at the end of the day, that's what makes a region thrive, is jobs. And so public transit is not about ridership or social service as it is about having a vibrant system that allows people to have those choices. Right. So for us as a region to compete with Indianapolis and Columbus, and as far as that, even internationally, an investment in public transportation is essential.
So how do you see these discussions working when they start up? What's the format going to be like?
Well, we have these 9 meetings that we'll be doing starting, I believe it's on the 28th of April. And what we're going to do is we want the citizens to come in and give us their feedback. We will talk about how we're funded, how this makes it work. We'll talk about the frequency of service. We'll talk about the span of service and how you'll be able to use it. We'll talk about the different types of transportation. We're talking about like bus rapid transit, which is high capacity bus service in 4 quarters. And 24-hour service that really allows us better connectivity to jobs throughout the county, but particularly those jobs across the river. Right. So people can work there and get home.
How does a streetcar fit into this, or do you even know yet?
Oh, actually, yes, we do know, and it doesn't factor in at all. All of this funding is about the Metro bus system, period.
Gotcha.
None of these dollars will be going to the streetcar.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad I asked, because that's a very polarizing, transportation option. Yes. Yes, and you'll keep hearing that as well.
So I'm told.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to go to these meetings, we're going to pop up in a second. We're going to have the website where people can get the times and the dates. If you can go to the gometro.com to find out more. Why should somebody take the time to participate?
Well, I'll tell you this. You've started out this conversation about public transportation being different. This is a significant choice that our region will have to make about an investment in this that will grow our community. It will help us attract jobs. It will help us retain jobs. And that is essential for the region's growth. And so whether you're funded through any of these other sources, having people here to do that is important. And public transportation, we've seen that even with the Amazon conversation. Right. That us not being competitive in that space took us off the list. So it's not, in my opinion, there's not a more important issue that this region will tackle than how it's going to fund transit in the future.
That's well said. I will leave on this. I do finally think that transportation is getting the attention that it deserves, and so we can start this process of figuring out, like you said, how to move into the future. Thank you so much, Dwight, for being here. Good luck with these meetings.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Thank you for having me.